well met. Welcome to episode 12, aka Shay apologizes a lot. No, that's not necessarily going to happen. The gang is back on the Chromium and they are making their way toward their next destination. And here we go. You may have noticed something about me, which is that I'm doing a light Callista cosplay because you remember, if you're on the Discord, there were a couple weeks ago I had emergency eye surgery. Well, this is that weekend. So there's a cosmic horror lurking beneath this eye patch that I have on. But otherwise, everything is good. I'm recovering fine. Thank you for your concern. If you want to hear more about it, come join the Discord. Chat with us there. Oh, I'm Eric Scott DeB, the DM of this game, founding member of the Dungeon Scrawlers, writer. You can see some of my books back there. And that's it for me. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm an author, game designer, and TTRPG streamer, and I'm playing Shay, as I have been for this entire series thus far. If that changes, I'll let you know. But I have no particular projects that I'm working on right now. No, I'm writing a Grey Mantle book. I'm still working on the
That's right.
the novelization of our old Play-by Post, which chapter 5 is proceeding apace and is, like, I think the first chapter to not have Shay in it. So, like, look forward to that.
And she wrote an Isekai Realms thing.
Yeah, I've written.
I mean, she's here pretend. She's like, I have no projects, and I'm like, no, that is not true. You accomplished like 3 in the last week.
I have like 3 different. I have like several Isekai Realms things that are not going to be out yet. Probably will not be out until we start book 3. Don't know when that's going to be. So we'll see. But look forward to it. But yeah, that's it for me. Go Cora.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cora. I am a writer and game designer. I do not have any projects that I'm working on.
That might be true. I don't know exactly quite as much about Cora's work.
I need to be working on projects, but it's
yes, you
sorting
do.
out some other things before I have the capacity.
Sure, of course.
We'll get there.
I believe in you.
I play Callista, our wonderful Fey Scarred Ranger, who is finally escaped again from her worst nightmare. So that's great. And I'm also going to be the person telling you about 2 of our amazing sponsors. Both of them specialize in dice, and both of them have their own cool, unique spin. In a realm where everyone is being armed with plastic dice, Norse Foundry has taken the extra step to arm their warriors with metal dice, giving you the strength of arms to skillfully smash through the enemy horde. You can find them at norsefoundry.com, along with other gaming accessories and dice, including a really cool collaboration that is still up there, Bayweave. I keep meaning to get the dice, and then I keep not doing so. I will follow through eventually. But yeah, the dice designs are really gorgeous. They're really cool. They're definitely worth checking out, and they have some other really cool things as well. I think that they started doing a collaboration for some awesome candles. If you want some D&D candles, check them out. Our other dice sponsor, named for the mythical creature that arises from the ashes, is Phoenix Dice. Phoenix Dice specializes in breathing new life into old materials, and they are constantly testing and designing, just trying to find new ways to bring you ecologically mindful dice. I had to remember the difference between economic and ecological. I got there eventually. But if you're a gamer who is also very environmentally conscious, or just somebody who likes necromancers and wants some thematic dice, you should definitely check them out at phoenixdice.com. And with that, take it away, Kay.
Hello, I am Kyria Tedraken. I'm playing Sorrow, Tiefling, Barbarian, Warlock. We know her, we love her. I have 2 things going on. I have a play-by-post set in my homebrew setting, Paths of Legend, over on my Kyria's Creations Discord server. It's full up on players, but if you want to check it out, read along. Also, the Book of Passion Bestiary is actually on its way to being available. I don't know exactly when it's going to hit DriveThruRPG, but it should be soon. I know that my physical copy is on its way to me, so I will show that off when it gets here. Except I won't show off the interior art because it's very spicy. Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen, and this is Bean.
Ah.
He's a handsome ginger man. We think of Bean like Ken from the Barbie movie because he only feels happy when the Barbies are looking at him. But yeah, I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet, and savagesparrow.com is my awesome website where you can buy nerdy apparel and accessories. Patreon.com/savagesparrow for following my artwork. I've been posting art I've been doing of this campaign, as well as some pieces that I haven't published publicly. So, if you are enjoying this campaign and the characters, do please check it out. You can join my thing for free if you want, even. Otherwise, I'm working on a Starfinder 2 collection, so definitely keep a lookout for that in the coming weeks. The tariff mess kind of made me have to delay as I had to figure out all what I can and can't do nowadays. But, we're going to keep pushing forward. Regardless, though, tonight I'm playing Ilmarin, the Drow Sorkadin, and honey, last week I blew up the party.
It's true.
Yeah, hi, my name is Amanda Cherry. I do nothing of consequence, at least not that I'm allowed to talk about right now.
Again, not true.
However,
but she's not allowed to talk about it, so yes.
However, a thing that I do very well is tell you about the other one of our sponsors you haven't heard about yet, and that is Idle Champions. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure. And that includes Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels, and you know how we love the Brimstone Angels novels here on the Dungeon Scrawlers. The game is available for PC on Mac, on stream and web. It's available at Epic Game Store, Google Play. It's for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, iPad, iPhone, and all Android devices. Wherever you like to play, you can probably play Idle Champions. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. And if you have come here from there, if you found us through them, make sure you check out all of our fun information down at the bottom there, because we usually have a code to get you some loot. And if my commercial made you want to go over there, also check out our little loot box before you head over and start your Idle Champions adventure. As for our adventure tonight, I am playing Vane, Lady Blackblade, who is back home aboard her ship, tucked in to a very fancy bed with a new friend, and yeah, very much looking forward to seeing whether the sea is more bumpy or the interpersonal dialogue is more bumpy. So
Excellent.
yeah.
That ad read has barely changed in 5 years. I rewatched the first episode of Westgate Irregulars the other day, and I was just like, that is the exact same ad read that we've been doing this entire time.
It's a good game. What can I say?
It's a good
if
game.
you want to update the ad read, just like let a girl know. We're happy to change it, but it's a great ad. I think we're giving everyone the info that they need about our awesome game sponsor. So
yep.
Why
Well,
fix what's not broken?
Absolutely. And speaking of that scene that you were just describing, that is a scene we are going to start with today. So I think that some context is helpful. So how about you set the scene for us there, Amanda?
Okay. The captain's quarters on the Chromium is the kind of rustic posh bedroom that you saw at the end of the first season of Bridgerton, like at the inn. It is definitely has no business being on a seagoing vessel, and yet because we have magic, we have fancy white linen and lace and big wooden 4-poster bed up on a platform, whole 9 yards, here in the captain's quarters, because your girl likes to be comfy, and your girl likes for her company to be comfy and impressed. So yeah, after a night of sweet, gentle lovemaking, we will awaken with a little sun streaming in through the lace curtain over the porthole, and the unseen servants coming in with coffee and pastries and other breakfast items on a silver tray. No bananas. Bananas are bad luck on a sailboat, but all sorts of other just like delicious delectable. Again, stuff that you would think has no business on a seagoing vessel, but here we are.
That's the proper use for the unseen servant spell, I think.
Well, things did not get so intense the night before as to require them to attend with aftercare potatoes, but that would also be a great use for the unseen servants if or when the time comes. But at the moment, good coffee, good bacon, fresh fruit, fresh pastries. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
what's up.
And Vane's guest in this lavish display of creature comforts despite the harrowing adventure you were just on has been Callista. So, take it away, Callista and Vane. You awaken. Things are pretty idyllic. The best they could be on a seafaring vessel like this. Even
Best
better.
it could be. It's fine.
Mhm.
So, I imagine with like Callista waking up, like she's very. This is already way more posh than anything that she's ever possibly imagined experiencing. Just like out the gate, it has been. And so having like breakfast brought to her in bed, she just looks like she probably is just like sitting there like entirely baffled as to like this situation, like speechless at the moment.
You can help
So
yourself.
do you do this for all of your guests?
Interesting question.
Just curious? And she'll take some bacon.
I don't often have overnight guests aboard the Chromium. She's kind of my baby, my safe place. But circumstances dictated, and figure out how to serve you breakfast. They'd been bringing me coffee anyway, so.
I don't think I've ever even had coffee.
You've never had coffee.
No.
Do you deal well with stimulant drugs?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. Do you like bitter chocolate?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do you like sweet things, confections?
Yes.
Do you like dry red wine?
So far?
All right. So I'm gonna fix Callista a cup of coffee now with a pretty good deal of cream, but only a little sugar, based on the things she has described liking and not liking. Number one, there's enough cream in there that it's not going to be as fully caffeinated as maybe it would otherwise, since she's never done uppers, and we don't want to give her the shakes. And also, like, it's mellow enough, it's not real bitter, but it's not too sweet, because she also likes dry red wine. So leaving some of the bitterness in there might be appealing.
Yeah.
And just sort of hand that over, and I can make it darker or sweeter, but here's a good first go at coffee.
Okay.
Have it with a bite of one of the cream horns. They work well together.
All right. And she'll try it. Like, she'll try the coffee. She'll try the sweet horn. Maybe a little darker.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll doctor the coffee with just more coffee and less cream this time, and until we get it right. If we have to go back and forth a few times, that's fine. And like sort of teaching Callista
eventually,
how to
like,
fix herself a cup of coffee.
Fix herself a cup. That's adorable.
The
Vane
concept of
takes-
having coffee is by itself remarkable for Callista.
And
The
Vane
concept
takes
of
hers,
having
like-
a preferred style of coffee is like the next level.
Vane takes hers black, just like super dark black. Might as well be like the coffee from the Green Acres opening credits. Like black, thick, just like nothing to it, and just like we'll knock it back. Cause caffeine.
I have to ask, How do you afford all of this?
I have to decline to answer that. Just understand the ship is mine, and what exists aboard her can sometimes sustain itself.
All right. This is all... It's a lot.
I could only imagine.
Especially compared to living in the woods all the time.
Woods. That does not sound appealing. It's sort of the opposite of the ocean.
Well, you saw the Shrike's domain. There wasn't a lot of options. You either lived in the woods or you traveled to the Shrike's bastion.
You're right, not a lot.
Not
of
exactly the
options.
best host.
No, absolutely not. I hope I'm doing leaps and bounds better than that.
Leaps and bounds and more.
Good. The rocking of the ship didn't keep you awake.
Not at all.
Some people have a hard time getting their sea legs, even when they're just flat on their backs. So glad to know you're taking things well. As long as you're aboard my ship, I intend to keep you comfortable.
I appreciate it.
I could tell.
I can't think of the last time. I can think of the last time I was comfortable, but it's been a while. So
So is
thank you.
the life of an adventurer. Why I keep the ship the way I do. There's a lot of discomfort to be had in the world. I like a portable, soft place to land.
Fair enough.
She goes where I go. Ship is like a woman. You treat her right, she'll treat you right back. Handle
it
her
seems.
carefully, and she'll keep you happy.
I have a question.
Be my guest.
Recent events have made me realize that it might be good for me to get some clarification. Is all of this fun or something else?
I wouldn't call nearly dying at the hands of Ildar fun.
Not what I mean.
I'm afraid of that. I'd like to have an answer, but I can't say that I know. It was fun the first 15 minutes back in the pub. And then there was a dead body. And then we got my ship back, and that was fun. And then the island was fun. And then it was terrible for a while, and yet I'm still here. And last night was fun. But I don't know. I do know I'm not in the mood I often am the morning after a encounter. I'm not looking forward to losing track of you. So that's, I suppose, something.
All right. Well, you don't have to know.
If I ever figure it out, you'll be the first to hear.
It'll be appreciated.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get dressed, go up on deck, check out how things are operating. Only so much trust I have in the magic when I'm not awake to monitor it.
Fair enough, and I need to get ready for the day as well.
Take your time. Relax all you want. Take a nap if you care to. Eat all the pastries, drink all the coffee. There'll be rum in the wheelhouse. Prepare to spike it later.
I will keep that all in mind. And I think I will consider that now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw on clothes, and I will leave like a really comfy, like velvet plush dressing gown situation over the foot of the bed. So if like Callista wants to get up or like brush her teeth, use the loo, wash her face, any of those things, but not like get dressed and like be ready. She can
Put
just,
on like her hunting leathers.
yeah, she can just throw on like a really posh, soft red velvet situation. Think what Scarlett O'Hara wears in the Brandy scene, like that
Okay.
kind of dressing gown situation. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that becomes very clear to Callista, being in Vane's bedroom, is that Vane likes comfortable and stylish things. Like, she likes clothes, and she has a lot of them. Her closet is bigger on the inside than it appears on the outside.
Okay.
And,
yeah, again, another thing that has no business on a seagoing vessel.
Correct. Yeah, and Vane heads off to take care of her ship, because the ship is like a woman, and you take care of her and she will take care of you.
And you don't take care of her and you're absolutely hosed at the worst possible
That's
moment.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Callista, is there more that you would like to do in this scene on your own, or do we cut over?
Yeah, I think Callista's, she's gonna take her time, enjoy her creature comforts that have been extended to her. And I think at one point, she's going to go, because I imagine that Vane has like a bathroom area. It's got a mirror.
There would be an ensuite head, and it would have like a big full-length mirror with like a gilt frame situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, this is in addition to the mirror on the ceiling, of course. That one's a little less practical to use when you're just, getting ready for the day. But
I don't know.
I mean, that one's hammered aluminum, and this one's silver glass. Like, it is a little different.
Okay. So Callista will probably go in there and kind of toy with the ring that she wore all night. And then slip it off to see what she sees.
So, to remind everybody, this, I believe, is Callista's disguise ring, right?
Yes.
The thing that makes Callista appear like your typical kind of weathered adventurer, right? Out in the wilds. But Callista, you find your appearance to be somewhat changed from what you might expect. How so? What strikes you first about your altered appearance?
Well, the first thing that's definitely going to jump out to her, that's actually a little harder to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the fact that the veins of that same violet energy have expanded. It's not to the point where like it's covering a part of her face up into where her eyes are. It's beyond that. It's basically consuming her face.
And I would guess is the first thing you see, because you look for this when you catch sight of yourself in a looking glass or in a pool of water, because
when she feels different.
Yeah, the advance of the Shrike's touch curse has been a thing that you have always been aware of, right? And so you look immediately for that, but the changes go deeper than that. And you pick up on that as you continue looking.
So then the second feature that she'd probably catch is the fact that the shape of her face has changed. It's far more angular, far more sharp features, far more fey or elven in appearance. And as she catches that, she like turns her head and will check, and her ears are tapered and pointed as well. And it's when she checks that she sees her fingers are different as well. They're longer, and the nails are sharper like talons.
Which, in a, not to put too fine a point on it, but with any other lover, probably would have come up last night. Vane, on the other hand, she seems to be game. So you're looking at these talons rather than just your well-groomed fingernails. And how does it make you feel? Because you came from this space of calm and contentment.
I think she starts like trembling, probably, and trying to breathe and trying to calm herself and trying to center herself.
She make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay. That is a 20.
Yeah. So you're able to remain calm. But you also remember that you are among people who care about you and want to help you. And so whether you try and hide this transformation from people is ultimately up to you. But your insight is telling you that maybe this time you won't have to. Okay, I think that's a good note to move over. So, Ilmarin and Sorrow. So, your evening was a bit more fraught, shall we say. What was the request that Ilmarin made of Sorrow, or just the group in general, at the when darkness fell the previous night?
Basically, to make it so she was tightly bound up in a way she could not escape, specifically focusing on her hands and making sure she was gagged so she couldn't use verbal spells either. Also to put her in some sort of like sensory depth sort of state, so like she couldn't like find minds telepathically or anything to mess with, just in case.
Mm-hmm. And how did that go?
Sorrow.
Yeah.
Sorrow was there with her basically big spoon all night, keeping watch over her, snoozing here and there, making sure she got some rest, but enough for, a long rest or whatever, but also just trying to be comforting.
Yeah. And very much like once everything was like, bound and sealed and stuff, and like she like sort of like eased into like Sorrow's touch and everything. That's when like she would have like finally felt safe and comfortable enough to just start crying. And it would have gone on for a little bit. There was a lot that your girl's been kind of dealing with and trying to like put aside for the sake of like helping out everybody else. So, it's just we need a good cry sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. Eventually she would have gotten tired enough that she could have slipped into a trance and trance some sleep, or some elf meditation.
Okay. And you were bound and gagged.
Yeah.
Yes. Ilmarin,
Mhm.
please make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. 23.
Okay. So, Ilmarin did eventually find rest, and she briefly became rigid and like kind of trembled a bit. But it seems that she kind of held herself together.
And Sorrow
Whether
would've
whether she
held
was
her tight.
awake at the time, Sarah's not sure.
Kidoki. When morning rolls around, Sorrow is going to very gently remove the gag, but leave the hands tied, at least for now. And then wait for her to wake up.
I imagine, given how gags work and stuff, that that would have been fine. Wake up. Like, I feel like there's not a subtle way to do that.
Depends on the gag.
I mean, but it's like it's in your mouth and you're resting on it, and then suddenly it's not there anymore.
Probably a puddle of drool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're like,
And Sorrow will start, dabbing at the corners of your mouth and cleaning you up a little bit.
Ilmarin looks mortified.
Good morning.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
You know, I didn't kill anyone in the night. I hope. It doesn't seem like anything's on the fire now that they've come back to my body this time. So, better than last time, right?
Yeah. So, I kind of want to talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know what she said to you, but it does seem like it hurt you, and for that I am sorry.
She didn't say anything that I hadn't already been thinking about. But I want to know, well, who and what she is and how I can help you.
That is a very complicated question that I am unfortunately unsure if I have answers to. But I will give what I can, because maybe in there somewhere you would be able to find something I have missed. But Eric,
Yes.
does Ilmarin know her name? The other one?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So when you are born into a noble house of Drow, you are sent for training to a place called I forget what the 3 school name is.
Well, one's melee mech there.
Yeah, I know the individual names, but what is it all together again?
Oh.
Bresh, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that
Tier
sounds
Bresh.
right. That sounds
Yeah.
right. It took me a minute. Okay.
Yeah, thank you,
Mhm.
thank you. Because I'm just like, why is this not in my brain? I know this. You get sent to Tier Bresh, and for training, sorcery, if you are some sort of wizard. Usually the men go there because, what is magic compared to the power of Lolth. Then you have God, what is the cleric
Melee mech
school?
there. No.
No, cleric.
Arachnilith.
Yeah, that's
Erect-
it. Erectilith for the priestesses to study, and then Meleg Mech there for warriors. So I was born third daughter, which means that my two sisters, one becomes the presumed heir, so therefore priestess. The second is despair, ideally done in such a way that she is a rival to older sister, so that way between the two of them, whoever survives Arachnilith and successfully gets the other executed, that will be the heir. But if you are third daughter, then you go to become Inquisitor. So
Visitor.
yes, it is the holy warriors of Lothar. Not exactly, not like paladins up here, where under Illustrae, I focus on redemption and saving others and being good person. Under Wolf, you are the one who roots out those who are not faithful enough. You are and sometimes it is that they are heretic, but more often it is that they are not successfully able. They have misplayed situation in such a way that their rivals trump up some sort of charges in order to be called heretics. So in this way, I was mother's trump card to ensure that my sisters were going to be going about their studies in such a way that they would both serve Wolf and the house and be strong for the house. Except, obviously, this makes me a rival to my sisters and the one, naturally, who would be eliminated should I do my job unfairly, or poorly, or ineptly in any way. So as you can imagine, by the way, your eyes are starting to spin, this is a bit of a very delicate balancing line. There are politics and, horrible, horrible death.
Sounds like hell.
Not. I mean, I know that exists. But it's not so bad. I mean, it is, but like, when you start to figure things out. But I think and she kind of just sags.
Political maneuvering, backstabbing, don't trust anybody. Yeah, that sounds like hell.
Truthfully, if I am being honest, I think I might have been just born wrong. 'Cause,
No, you were born right.
well, what I mean is just I could understand the games and how they were played and understand what my role is meant to be within them, but it was so hard all the time, and I there was so much constantly, especially once I entered school, and I made a friend. And I know what you were saying with which is why I told you in the way that I told you, so you understand there are no friends in Menzo Baranzan, just allies of convenience.
Men's of what?
The city where I lived. So this person though, I thought, was at least more than ally of convenience. I began to think of her as a friend. She was someone who would salve my wounds when I would get beaten. Um, she held me in the dark when things were hard. Um, she sometimes she helped me steal food from the kitchens when they starved us. She sometimes she had answers to things that I did not know, and I came to rely on her. And together we were able to rise through the ranks. And then, like I told you, there was this girl that I began to have feelings for, and I had also been getting weird headaches at this time. But it was, and I guess in hindsight, maybe that was related. But you know, you are young and stupid, and you don't think of these things or how they are related. And my friend encouraged me to go for it. You should experience love. You should defy convention. Leave your house if you must. All of those things that, you know, you on the surface, who, or I guess, you know, not you necessarily, because I don't know how long you've spent on the surface, but the surface dwellers always seem to have these grand romantic notions of these big gestures, of, you know, leaving their fates to the winds and such. And it is not like that in the Underdark. But I wanted to believe it was not so. And so I did it, and then I was betrayed. And, you know, because again, in society, you can enjoy others' company for pleasure. You can indulge as much as you want, so long as it does not interfere with duties, and you are careful to notice if they poison your food or have a poison blade upon them. But you know, those people are stupid and should have died anyway. But
Just that casual drow bias coming out. Like, if you died of poison, come on, that's a skill
yeah.
issue, really.
Exactly. But but to have something more, to make yourself vulnerable for another, that makes you weak. That makes you a tool. Makes you something that can be manipulated. And I honestly cannot say who in this situation betrayed me. It could have been her. It could have been that she was a plant for one of my sisters. It could have been a test from my mother. It could have been, you know, like so many people could have decided to trap me in this situation. But fall into the trap I did. And something took over. And when I came to myself again, there was just crater and bodies around me. And I saw my friend across from the crater, and she was smiling and told me to run. And so I did. And I thought that I left her behind, that because I went to surface, I fell in with Illustrade, I lived good life, I've unlearned so much, and I finally felt like I had found my place and my people, and going on this adventure with all of you has also been something really incredible. But I started seeing things, and when we first got aboard the Chromium, there was this moment where I was going to do the job I was assigned, and then suddenly I was faced with this vision of my friend when she was a child, but I didn't want to believe it, because why? It's crazy, right? Like even saying it now, I
It was like that night in the Purple Lady. Remember when you were kind of rocking back and forth and saying it's not real?
yeah.
So I don't
But
know much about magic and stuff, but I don't think it's all in your head. Well, it is all in your head, but I don't think it's that you're imagining things. Like maybe some kind of demon or devil is
well,
co-occupying your head.
when I was in that moment, because it was very strange, I was above ship when I went into that space, and I fought her because it was really creepy, and I did not care for it at all. Um,
Yeah.
And I used banishment because I also thought demon. Because when you have creepy child that is cackling at you, that seems ageless behind definition and should have been dead. That seems like demon child, no?
And you learned all about demon children at Arachnilith. Like, that was a regular thing. You would summon demon children and have them torture, the children of captives because it was funny,
And of
basically.
course, my mother has summoned more than a few demons in her day, and I've watched how that process works and what happens when there is spawn from coupling, Like it is basic education in society. Uh, and this child definitely did not look like any of those strange creatures. No extra limbs or fangs. But regardless, though, I cast the banishment and I felt it did not work, but I felt its effects on myself.
When we were fighting Ildar and whatever it was took over, you changed. You physically changed. Your body went all weird and you were moving like you were Mary, you were a puppet with the strings. Yeah. So it's definitely not your imagination.
Yeah.
How can I help?
I mean, honestly, I guess we should figure out what it is. Because, is obvious at this point that whatever this thing is has been with me since I was quite young, apparently. And was not a friend at all. But, I guess is to be expected of Menzoberranzan. Like, honestly, that's on me for not just assuming that was trapped. But I was very sad. So,
Well, maybe we should ask her.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You do the mental connection thingy and we can talk to her.
I mean,
You're still bound up. We can put the gag thingy back in. It won't hurt anybody.
If I'm being honest, though, there is a part of me that is very scared that she might be stronger than I am.
She's not.
But she has been getting stronger.
I think you're getting stronger too. And you have something she doesn't have.
That.
Us. Me and Shay and Cora, or
Callista.
Callista and Vane.
I can if you want to, if you think it would be a good idea, but
Well, she seems to like me, so I don't think she's gonna hurt me.
I mean, if it is case where, you know, she is the super drow rude person, that would make sense. Because, you know, you are strong and powerful and invested in me remaining alive. So
So are we doing this?
Ulmarin looks very uncomfortable, and it very much seems like she is agreeing to it only because Sorrow is pushing the issue.
Is this something you want to do right now, or is this something that you were planning to do in the future?
Sorrow wants to do it now, but that's because Sorrow has no patience.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much true. Well, I think what happens is you're like, Ilmarin is considering it. She's like, okay, how do we do this? Putting it together, and Sarah's like, hey, let's do this. And then Shay arrives, saying that, well, what do you say to them, Shay?
Well, Shay will knock. She's not gonna just barge in. But
Okay, so a knock interrupts you.
The door was locked from the inside and the outside, just so if something happened, Elmar couldn't get out either way. So Sorrow will unlock the inside locks, and Shay will have to do the outside ones.
Yeah, like if Shay's given the indication that everything's a-okay, she'll
Shay, you probably don't need a key, but
yeah,
again,
yeah.
you don't need a key, so
Yeah, she there's like a God damn it, just a second. And then you hear like click, like and then like the door pops open and she stands up like, all right. I figured I wouldn't waste time going to find Vane for the key. Hi.
Hi.
I was checking in. I wanted to feel some time, of course, but I kind of wanted to get everybody together because I've got some stuff I want to say, and I figured I'd get everybody together to do that.
Lauren, how you feeling? You feeling up to all that?
I mean, you know, being able to stretch would be nice. I am a bit cramped.
Okay, well, I wanted to make sure because you were very, very insistent. That's the word.
Yes,
last
but
night.
I have slept now, so
Okay.
I have more control over my abilities, as I am no longer exhausted.
yeah,
All right.
Marin, your heart was starting to beat faster, and you were starting to sweat a little bit just thinking about this thing that Sarah was proposing. But at the same time, like, she's very compelling, and you know, you were almost like, oh, I could maybe see through to it, and now you could kind of calm down a little bit.
Yeah. It was like, oh darn! I don't have to do that thing that'll horribly traumatize me.
Hey.
Darn!
Aw, shucks.
Bummer.
Sorrow starts trying to undo all the shibari, and Vane did a really good job. And
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll-
honestly, the blade mistresses would be very impressed.
Yeah, I
It's-
think I'm gonna need Vane's help on this because I'm not sure how
here,
these knots work.
Sorrow, do you want some help? I've got some
Oh.
experience on doing this stuff.
Okie dokie. Won't ask about that. Hey, go ahead.
All right.
She does wrong. She is lockpicker.
Yeah, that's why. And she'll
Yeah!
walk over. She'll walk over and just is able to kind of just undo it in a couple quick easy pulls, and it just kind of all comes undone. It's
Shay, you recognize the techniques,
Yeah.
and they're very good techniques.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She takes a moment to kind of admire the quality of the knots and the rope work before undoes it. But yeah, so once
Full immobilization.
yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive work.
With her hands free, Ilmarin will use prestidigitation to make herself look like fresh and clean and nice again.
That's very nice rope too. Nice and soft.
Usually the best for that. Yeah. I will leave y'all to get
Where are we
ready.
having this meeting?
Yeah,
Uh,
let's go.
Yes. I think she'd have kind of organized this wherever there was a room or something that made
There
sense.
is kind of a conference room,
Okay. Yeah. So we're
which
having,
is next to the bridge. You have to go up the stairs, or okay. So remember, from the deck you go down the stairs to the bridge, and then
Yeah.
you can go down another set of stairs to a conference room,
We're having
which has couches and stuff.
we're having a full-on
and a
Mass
table.
Effect style team meeting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Feel Guard.
Woo! All right.
Sparrow
So-
says, "Just give me a minute. I'm gonna do something. I need a little bit of privacy."
Okay. Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Oh yeah. I just don't want to be without my fancy new sword again. So I'm gonna do the little ritual that Lilton taught me to bond with the blade so that it can be my packed blade, my pack sword I got in the market.
Hack the pack blade.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They will
do that.
visibly grimace at the mention of Lilton.
Yeah, I know, but
It's fine. I know you're not. I know you're not his muscle anymore. I get it.
no. And I have this magic. I might as well use it for the benefit of all of us. And I don't want to be stuck without my sword again.
That's
you
fair.
Sorry, in the course of this
Well,
ritual,
I
I
was
don't know
gonna
if you-
say really fast before as Shay starts to head out,
Yep.
Ilmarin would put a hand on Sorrow's and then just give her a little kiss on the cheek. It's just good luck. And
Sorrow,
then head out.
Sorrow doesn't blush per se, but if she could blush, she would.
Aw.
All right.
You were
Right.
saying,
yeah, Sorrow, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but over the course of this ritual, you conjure your pack blade, and you kind of you lay it atop Hack, and you pound them together like you're smithing with a hammer, but you don't have a hammer, it's just your fists, and you're just pounding this blade into that one and making them the same blade. This is how it's always worked for you in the past, and it works for you again. You infuse this blade with the crackling, fiery power of doom, essentially. Bad luck. Your power has always come with a side of bad luck.
yeah.
And now you're infusing that into the sword.
Bashaba.
That's right.
Okay. And then,
Sorrow, you personally have never really understood exactly where that all comes from or why that is the way it is. But when you have been with Lilton, because this kind of draws back memories, when you have been with Lilton, he has always seemed very lucky. And you have seemed to be the counterbalance. As though he is taking luck from you for himself and giving you bad luck.
yeah, I need to break this pact.
Yeah.
All right.
So, meeting.
So
I'll get a new one.
the group gets together in this comfy conference room. Vane, would you like to describe a few characteristics of the conference room?
So it's gonna be like a ready room that you would see on a naval vessel. Like this room is far more utilitarian than a lot of other places on the vessel. You've got seating, sort of bench seating. There are cushions on the benches, but this is like the kind of stuff that those of you who have been on my boat, like those kind of bench seats with like cushion backs, and it probably smells like salt water in here. This is where you get like if we're gonna have a storm, this is where you look at the chart and talk about the weather and get everyone's assignments for who's gonna batten down what hatches and who's gonna take down the sails and stuff like that. So
There's a
like,
minor illusory effect crafted into the table in the middle, where you can kind of sculpt it to be a map, and it knows a certain number of maps, but you can always infuse a new map into it.
Yeah, and it's very much, this is a room that does belong on a seagoing vessel of this size. And Shay is gonna notice that Vane is real salty that she has called a meeting without asking the captain's permission to call a meeting. Like, I'm gonna show up, but you're not gonna like the look on my face. You're gonna be
She
that
seems a
was
bit
not
put
cool.
out.
Fair enough.
That was not cool. Daring to assert authority aboard my vessel while we are at sea. I have keel-hauled people for less.
I just needed to talk to everyone. I'm not trying to subvert your authority, Vane. Promise.
Next time, put a question mark at the end of your sentence.
All right.
Dang.
Fair enough.
You're lucky you're cute, Shay. Anyway.
Mutiny is against all the international conventions.
Interplanar also.
All right, now
I'm
she's
just saying.
now she's just getting dramatic. Shay, better get on with it.
All right. Once everybody's gathered, Shay has brought a Lashiel, but she's not like it's not on her hip. He's set it kind of on that table, and once everybody's settled, he'll stand up. So, the reason I wanted to get everybody together this morning is because I wanted to say a few things. Namely, that thus far, all of you have been incredibly accommodating and helpful in accompanying me on this, when truly none of you had to. In return, I've been selfish, callous, maybe not callous, unobservant, and I wanted to apologize for that. I've let myself get so wrapped up in going wrong with me that I haven't taken the time to actually take stock of everyone else. And unfortunately, I tell that part of why things got as bad as they did was I let that slip. That's on me. And
We're all going through some shit.
Yeah, no one could have known necessarily that I had a homicidal maniac inside me.
yeah, when you
I had
that's-
suspicions, but I was really hoping I was being paranoid.
I thought you were
was
hallucinating.
really hoping that.
I brushed it off as you hallucinating, and I apologize. That clearly was not the case.
Yeah, I physically teleported, so that's where I was concerned.
That's fair.
I had no idea what was even going on.
Truthfully, I'm still not sure, but
Yeah.
I thought
Something to do with some place called Menzo.
Menzo
Menzo
Baranza.
Berenson, yes. So I wanted to say that, But I also wanted to acknowledge that with potentially ahead of us, Bane of Shar, it's going to need to be able to work together. That means putting it on the table, getting our bearings, and figuring out what we have hanging over us and what our next steps are. Because we're not going to be able to get through this without helping each other.
I'll be honest, I haven't been paying attention. I don't even know where the hell we're going.
The ruins of Zhentil Keep.
What's a Zhentil?
The Zhentarim were still even around.
They are.
Isolated cells, a criminal network that used to be a lot more prevalent. The place we're headed is the ruins of their original stronghold.
We're looking for Manchun.
We are.
What's a Manchun?
Manchun, one of the leaders / former leaders. I'm not sure. He's one of the big names of the Zhentarim. Incredibly powerful wizard. It's also the name that Shedar Kai wrote in his own blood.
Yeah.
That's why I thought we should head this way, because if there's one place I could imagine finding this bastard, it's there.
I'm gonna unlock a cabinet that's like against the back wall and take out 2 glasses and the bottle I keep in there and pour myself a belt of rum and pour a second one and hand it to Callista.
So I'm going to apologize too, because I haven't been paying attention. I never pay attention, and I need to be better about that. And I'm dumb, but I'm not as dumb as I think I am, because Lilton didn't want me around for my intelligence.
Lilton did a number on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Used to be,
yeah, he did.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Before Lilton, like, yeah, you got character. You know, you were always yourself, but you know, he did stuff to you. We can all tell.
Also,
Well,
Also, you are surprisingly good at saying like things people need to hear at the time that they need to hear them. So like, please stop putting down that intelligence.
well, thank you. But I got a little confession to make. I've been going through withdrawal. I was getting blackout drunk every night for years. And when I got sick, it wasn't the mystery meat, the fried salad or whatever it was. Slide, that's the word. You know, it was withdrawal, you know. I mean, been getting the shakes and then throwing up. And I've been hiding all that because I don't want it to be y'all's problem.
But that's the thing. We need to be able to support each other. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that this experience has taught me thus far, is that I can't. I've been the one building my own. I've been the architect of my own isolation. I've been distancing myself from everyone's, but by being so focused on what's going on with me. Well, that shit's still pressing. Absolutely. It still terrifies me. I need to be able to. What's going on with all of you too?
Shay, I have a question.
Yes.
Where did all of this recent insight come from?
A couple of places. Our Ilmarin's friend. Some of the things they said. Some of what you said. I I've been by myself. Char been speaking to me.
That's that goddess of loss, right?
Right.
Well, that ain't good.
No. No, it's not.
Has
So-
she said why or what her designs are? The goddess coming down to specifically
She claims me as her own. Why I've been cut off from Illustray. Anytime I've been able to use my clerical magic since it came back, it's been from her. I healed everyone. End of that fight, revived everybody. I tried hard out to illustrate, but it wouldn't come. I had to use the only option I had.
So to be clear, you are being provided divine power by a goddess you don't follow, and being cut off from the goddess you do.
Eric, can I do a religion check
Yeah.
to like get insight of like, has this happened before? Is this a thing?
Yep.
24.
It definitely can happen. It's unusual, but it can happen. Sometimes people can be confused about what deity they serve, too. Sometimes people can think they're acquiring their divine powers from one deity, but it's really another deity that's granting those powers. And Shar has, you got a 24, right? Shar has a history of doing that.
Oh.
Of deceiving people into thinking that she is a different deity than she is, and granting them powers in that deity's name.
So Ilmarin seems kind of like lost in thought for a moment, and then when Callista speaks, she goes, It is. I have heard that Shar is one who is able to masquerade the faith of another and sort of fool them into believing that she is the goddess that they think that they are serving, when really it is just bonding them further to her.
So she's been
So-
serving. Go ahead.
Are you suggesting that it was never Illustray at all?
I don't want to say that, but I am curious, when did you first begin to notice this, like if you could maybe go into more detail about when you first, like how you came to Illustrate perhaps, and then maybe we can also look into when you first experienced this crisis where you could not access your abilities. Because it is one of those two things, and I would like to hope it is the second one, where somehow those whispers began, and perhaps, you know, maybe through there she was able to leech off of that loss you were feeling from whatever happened to separate your faith in the first place, because, you know, loss is her favorite ground, and if she can manipulate that against you.
My upbringing was a bit unusual. I grew up in Westgate, actually. I didn't come to praise service until I left there, actually met other dark elves. I met an enclave of illustrated drow who admittedly followed a unconventional version, you could say. Their view of her was private. Have you heard of the Masked Lady?
Eric, have I heard of the Masked Lady?
Make a religion check.
Yeah. Let's go. 24 again.
Have you? All right. So the Masked Lady is, depending on how you look at it, a splinter of the Illustrian faith or a heresy among the Illustrians, wherein the followers of the Masked Lady follow Illustray as though she were bonded with her brother Viran, who is the basically drow god of thievery and deception. And according to this faith / heresy, the two joined forces to fight against their mother Lolth during her bid for supremacy 120 years ago or so. But they were defeated in that effort.
Oh.
As far as you understand, that's what you know about it. How exactly you feel about this particular faith is up to you.
Oh, I feel like it's gonna be a heresy.
Okay.
My question is, what are, like, do I have a vibe of what the tenets are?
A little bit. Allie, why don't you tell her a little bit about what the tenets might be, specifically how they would vary from like your mainstream Illustrian faith.
I mean, it's mostly the same. There isn't a huge variance, because
the strong emphasis, like Illustray's faith, is on independence and breaking free of unjust authority. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. I think where it not entirely sure it's something that they detailed where it differs. I think it folds in some aspects of Varan's worship, but I'm not 100%.
If there's deception and thievery, it's definitely different right there.
Oh, yeah, no, that is absolutely different.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
It is. It's more cloak and dagger. It's more ruthless, and it's a little more individualistic than mainstream Illustrian faith. Worshippers of the Dark Lady, of the Masked Lady, are often individual or independent, much like Shay was. This might explain why Shay was not particularly connected with the Illustrian drow in the Westgate region.
That I'm getting a lot of ideas of what may be happening, which I will say in character.
I want to be clear. I'm being somewhat vague about this.
Yeah.
Because, again, Ilmarin is not a member of this church, and Shay doesn't have a lot of, like, formal training in this church either. Like, her faith is very much a personal relationship with the deity, whereas Ilmarin is like, I was taken in by a circle of surface drow, and this is what they taught me. So, you both worship Illustray, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll have
like Ilmarin makes this face like, oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't think Ilmarin has ever met a worshiper of the Masked Lady before, because again, this heresy existed like a while ago, and it was never super big as far as you know. But then again, you haven't been on the surface all that long.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Allie.
the drow that I met were followers of that particular iteration, and they taught me what they knew. I felt something that I hadn't felt living in Westgate. I held on to that. Like I kept adventuring. I kept working on it, adventuring with different groups of people. They came and they went. I don't think I ever really stayed with any one group for more than a few years, probably. But I mean, the real turning point, the real point where I felt like something was wrong was recently. The night I met Callista, actually. We were attacked by assassins. I tried to heal myself afterward. And it felt like I was praying to an empty room, and it felt like that. Like, I'll admit, I'd kind of fallen off in my observances the last several years. But faith never wavered. I still prayed every night. Still did what services I could, I had time for. I was fairly occupied.
So you experienced a loss, and then the goddess of loss slipped in.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the where our faiths differ is the masked lady is considered deceiver. So perhaps then it was Shar who found it easier to put on that mask herself.
Now, like, I didn't even... This problem...
Because you lost Delira?
That's... Whatever's happening has been going on for several years. That wasn't sudden. Things have been bad. They didn't used to be like this.
Loss doesn't have to happen all at once.
Yes, it
But
was something that
something-
builds.
And also,
Something-
sometimes gods are selfish sons of bitches who aren't going to let you know their motivations. Sometimes you got to stick a finger in their face. You can choose which one.
Callista?
But something did change, didn't it? The night we met, where did I find you?
At a restaurant,
Waiting for who?
waiting for Illyra.
It wasn't the first time she'd never shown up, right?
Oh, first time.
But it's the first time you felt different about it, wasn't it?
I mean, it was the first time I really felt myself getting angry about it. Normally, I just kind of brush it off. It happens. This is how it was for the last several years. He'd sweep into town. He'd have amazing few days. Again.
So it sounds to me like you think of her as wife, as partner, and she thinks of you as fun weekend. And slowly over these years, all of these things have been tiny cuts. Just tiny, tiny cuts on your body, on your soul, on your heart. And all of these things, you may feel that they heal over time because, yes, she shows up, it's just the way she is, it's just the way this is. But you want more. Your body, your mind, your heart wants more. And you are pushing that deeper down, deeper down, deeper down. And it is growing, that sadness, that worry, that fear, that sense of not having the thing you need reciprocated in the way that you desire. All of those cuts that you thought were healed, your body is remembering them. And that sadness and despair has been growing within you to that point where it got to be too much.
And it was practically shouting to Shar, "Hey! I'm one of yours, even though I don't know it." That's my guess, anyway.
Maybe. I mean, it was that. It was losing Mirren.
Maybe it was both. It doesn't have to be one thing.
Exactly. And I want to be clear, again, I grew up in society of terrible people, but I find goodness in many of them anyway. Not to say that Ilra is terrible, because somebody can be good person, perfect person, but still not necessarily be good for you in what you need. And that is okay. It is okay to have the same belief of this is someone I love and care for, but also have belief of I have needs and wants that are not being met, and this is bad for me. And that is what I am trying to get you to see.
I see it. See it. Well, regardless, how do we fix it? Not the relationship. That's not the problem here. I mean, it's a problem, but it's not this.
Yes, we have bigger problem than your love life.
No, I have two bigger problems than my love life. Thank you. I've got Shar in my head, and whatever's happening to me is killing me.
So
Seems like we should take care of that one first.
It was done. Yes.
But more than
I'd love
that,
to have a corpse on a ship.
we have whatever's going on with you, Ilmarin. And then, and I mean,
Lista's thing.
Lista's thing. How is that, by the way?
Yeah, look like what happened with. Is this the new you or?
Well, so when Callista showed up, she would have been wearing the ring.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And she's wearing her tunic and breeches. She's not fully armored up.
Okay.
She's casual.
Okay, but she looks like the version of Callista we know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
As far as I'm concerned, well, I think it's best if you see for yourself. And after hesitating for a little too long, she will take off the ring and reveal that the scars have grown. The veins have grown more severe. Her facial features have changed. Her ears are changed, and her fingers have changed.
Whoa, that's cool.
Gods below. Are you all right?
I don't know.
Do you
Probably
Look
not.
cool.
do you want me to look you over, or I don't. Would that
By all
be
means.
useful? Okay.
By all means.
I'm gonna start looking over Callista. What checks do you want for investigating if this is bad thing or just thing that she has to live with?
Arcana.
Okay. 18.
Okay. Well, those do seem to be permanent changes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They
I
do seem
wanna
to be
do the
connected
same
to
sort of-
her. Yeah, they seem to be connected to whatever power she gained in the Feywild Shadowfell crossover zone that you were in.
Can I also do a history check to see if anything like this has happened before that I might have read about?
Okay.
24.
Yes, although you can't conjure a specific example off the
Yeah.
top of your head. But yes, people can be altered, or as the Drow text would put it, corrupted by too much power. And Drow society is notoriously intolerant of people who are different, right?
Mhm.
And so, like, if you gain too much power and you start sprouting horns or scales or anything like that, other Drow will shun you at best.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You were.
At best.
I won't say it's good to have power necessary, like too much power, but like if you're going to have enough power that other people notice that you have it, then being hot while having it is very important to like your life chances.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
I've
being
been a lot
able
of
to defend
places-
yourself is very important.
I've seen a lot of shit. If I wouldn't matter if I made an Arcana roll to see if I knew if I could figure out or recognize anything else, or did
Sure, yeah.
Martin pretty much get everything? Okay. Let's just roll that. Oh, that was gross. Never mind. That was only an 18.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
That was bad.
You
I've
do
got,
know
I've
that
got
this
Arcana
happens.
at plus 14. Like it was,
Yeah.
I had a really good shot at like learning something here.
You do know that this happens. You have actually seen this on your travels. You've seen people be corrupted by particular magic. In fact, Vane's former lover Tristan was corrupted by being raised from the dead while mixed together, pureed with a
Ah.
beholder.
Oh no.
And so what came out
That's
was
why
not
he's an X.
was not strictly Tristan, but it was also not strictly a beholder that was
Ew.
animated as well.
We don't like that.
So, yeah,
Oh.
you've seen some pretty horrific shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
The
this is,
drow,
like, not
the
even a
drow
problem.
texts about it from Iraq to Nilith are very much about these people who corrupt themselves with demonic powers or necromancy or illithid powers are especially awful and should be purged whenever possible. Studies that you've found at Sorcerer are a little more sanguine about it. They're like, sometimes in the course of studying great power, you might corrupt yourself a little bit, in which case, always keep that hidden.
I
Because
mean,
the other drow won't understand.
those are also the texts written by the men, so you know.
Correct.
But
Correct.
the other question I had was, do I get a sense that the work I had been doing to research how to cure the curse before, do I get the feeling that that is pointless now, or that it can be worked out so we can like bring some of her back or something like that?
It doesn't seem pointless,
Okay.
but it seems to have kind of moved in the opposite direction.
Okay. Cool.
Like, these alterations have been a big setback.
Okay. So Lamarn's like, kind of just like looking and finally says, I do not think there's anything within my power to do necessarily at this time. It seems the magic has honestly like overwritten so much of you. It is tied to you now. I have read some of how there are those who engage with dealings with other beings of other worlds, and sometimes this sort of effect occurs. Fortunately, is considered corruption in Drow society, so most of those were either purged or hidden away carefully, so no studies really existed on what happens to the person. But if you want, I don't think that the research we had done so far with your potion is necessarily all undone. It just means we'd have to approach from different way. Do you want me to continue doing so?
Please. You said it is overriding me. Correct?
It's like merging, you know? Like like when you handshake, your hand is entwined with other hand, and then you are together. Eventually, it should break, maybe, but maybe we need help in this case.
Maybe you should
And
let it happen, because maybe you're not diseased. Maybe you're becoming more you. Maybe this is what you're supposed to be.
I mean, that is why I ask also, because, you are a good person. It doesn't seem like this is causing horrible impulses.
I have a slightly more pressing question. Lista, is it uncomfortable? Does this hurt anyway?
No.
Ildar,
Let me know if it starts to, because there are things that can be done.
I'll be sure to let you know.
Ildar did seem to think that this was beneficial. Otherwise,
Yeah, he
why
also
would-
tried to kill us.
Yeah,
He
I
also
take
thought
every word
hitting me with a
Ildar says
sword
with
was
10 grains of
beneficial.
salt and a sword to his face.
That's
if I
valid.
possibly
Exactly.
can.
Ildar does not have great ideas, I believe we have established.
Wow. Oh, so much Ildar
He's-
hate right now.
The man has his uses, but none
I
of them
mean, you
are in
could have left
conversation.
it at the man.
I mean, given the
Damn.
stories, what few stories Illyra told me about Ildar, that tracks.
They're probably all true. I've known the man personally
But
off
they
and
were-
on for some time.
But they were told fondly.
He has his uses.
Was she laughing
None
while
of
she told the
them-
stories? Oh, yeah.
None of
yeah,
them-
yeah.
No, this is the same
Occur
man
when the lights are on.
who I removed Baldur from his body where he had been crushed, and the first thing he does is to try to threaten more violence upon it, as if I could not just move Baldur back.
Which
That
is why
is
I
not-
lit him on fire.
Not smart,
That's-
man.
And this is
Why?
why he got left. This is why he got left in the Feywild.
I should have lit him on fire years ago.
So, to pull things back a little, sounds like you're going to keep working on trying to help Callista, right, Ilmarin?
If that is what Callisto wants. Because again, if you decide one day you're like, I like being vaguely purple, then, I mean, I like being purple, but I understand if you are not born to all of this.
I was never
Uh,
purple.
That's unfortunate.
I think it would be wise to have that research on hand. One way or the other.
Okay.
Sorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know much about this Lilton that has had such an effect on you.
You're lucky that you don't know
Oh,
much
yeah,
about her.
Yeah, no, she's right. You're lucky.
How how do you handle this?
Well, I went through a phase. I mean, when we first met, I was going through, thinking that not using his powers would help me, I don't know, sever the link. But that didn't work. So now I just figure I got these spells, I got this sword and stuff. I might as well use it to do stuff he wouldn't approve of, if you catch my drift.
See, I can approve of that.
And also, what you told me when we were hunting, you don't want to scare children. You want to be just human. I don't know how to relate to that. So, I mean, to me, turning into something beyond human is a good thing.
More than a boring human, huh?
Yeah, but my father is human, so I kind of have a negative opinion of them.
Good to know.
Aside from the purple scarring, I mean, I got to admit, the whole situation is not awful. Like, it's actually pretty nice.
I mean, you were hot before, but
yeah. Like, agreed.
I have talents.
That's the cool part.
Look.
Yeah.
Look.
There
I'm
are
just
many
saying-
who, in a mental balance and pleasure house, that would pay top coin for those sort of claws upon their body.
And I'm just saying, as someone whose wife used to like burn and rot things by touching them, the claws don't bother me. It's a long story. Don't need to get into that.
They do bother me, but specifically because I have realized that I'm going to need to relearn how to use my weapons.
Oh, I can help with that.
I was going to ask if you could. I was thinking, and I want to change the way that I fight. I have learned to win the day by hiding, preparing, fighting in a moment with the intent to run away, and doing it over and over again.
And now you want to learn to
Because-
stand your ground and kick a little ass?
I think we can help with that.
Yeah. But it's something.
Although,
That is.
I mean, hit and run tactics, there's something to be said for that.
It's fair. I mean, yeah, but
I
I'm
mean-
just saying, fighting is one of the two best things I can do on land.
Some of my most difficult
And the other?
opponents in
I
the
think
arena
you-
have
I
been
think you know. Yeah,
fast types.
Yeah, we can guess. So, I have a couple more questions. My first one, this is quick, is Ilmarin. That thing you did on the beach where you tried to lessen the sickness I've been dealing with.
Yes,
You do that again.
of course.
Okay. Question 2. Anybody else have any, like, pressing, oh my god, this is going to murder all of us secrets that we need to know about?
Oh,
Lauren brightly raises her hand.
Another one?
well, I mean, again, I don't really know what the thing in my head is, other than I think, she was someone I thought was my friend in mental Branson that maybe was never real to begin with. And maybe I also wonder how much of the powers, and she'll like conjure a small flame. How much of these abilities maybe coincided with when I with when that all happened? Because I was not always magical, and now I am very magical. But
No?
How
the
long has this been happening?
so I last saw the being that I thought was my friend when I fled Menzelberensen. And then I think at the time I thought it was just a smothered out child who was pickpocketing, and I offered coins so they didn't have to be thieves. They could have good meal and be safe. But I think perhaps that was actually also not real.
When was this?
That first night we all met. Yeah, it's interesting that there are all these coincidences occurring.
I'm starting to think they're not coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ildar. So sorry. Ildar, to think all of us needed to go into the Fane of Shar. And I'm starting to wonder, this isn't bullshit that she's orchestrating, pulling us all together like this.
Or perhaps Ildar is a demented fool.
I like that theory.
Two
also.
things can be true.
so Ilmarin, I think we need to figure out how and when she comes out so that we can make sure it doesn't happen.
So
Again?
far, it has mostly been in those moments where I'm either by myself or very exhausted, and not necessarily able to have all my focus. But the thing I wanted to warn you of, because I realized when the darkness fell in the Feywild, so my name is Ilmarin. I am the third daughter of House Banre.
It's a Bainra.
I'm sorry.
Shay's like, and Sarah's like, that's kind of neat. This is a neat name. Is that your last name? That's neat.
House Bainray, you said.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
House Bainray is the first house of Menzo Berensen. They effectively rule the place.
Oh. So you're nobility. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're also, at least as I understand it, the house that destroyed mine.
That's not awesome.
They have destroyed a lot of houses.
Yes, that is true.
Not a great defense.
I don't think that it was a Tuesday defenses in your favor here.
Yeah. Do you
Well, I
realize
mean,
how
you don't
a lot
have
of people, yeah.
You don't have a lot of defenses, so you
No.
gotta go with the one you can use.
It's like that. It's like
It
that
wasn't
meme.
personal. We kill a lot of people.
Exactly.
It's like that meme. Do you realize how little that narrows it down?
Literally that.
For me, for you, it was the
so-
sculpting moment of your life. For me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring this up in specific is because I was fairly certain that, like when I left, I fled by myself into Underdark, and Underdark is very horrifying and dangerous, especially if you are a panicked child on their own. Granted I was a child, but you know what I mean in the grand sense of things. but you know, it is easy to assume that if you don't find trace of somebody who flees into Underdark, then they are probably dead or taken by some sort of servant to face unknown horrors that, you know, make all of them very happy. And then I came to surface. I found my sisters of a stray, and quiet life was had and very good. But I had not really left there. So it is possible. I am not the most stealthy. That maybe word got to them at this point that I am in fact alive. And you know, being third daughter, me being alive is a mark of weakness against House. So I am hopeful that it won't be a problem. But
All right.
Well, I
So
will-
in case we get jumped by darkness of raiders, I don't want it to come as a surprise.
I'll protect you. I'll make you first daughter. How about that?
I don't want that.
this good to know. We'll have to make sure to keep an eye out then for drow assassins. That's
Fantastic.
great. Now I'll say
Can they
this.
swim?
Oh, probably.
Because if not, they're probably pretty safe. You're probably safe right now.
I will say this. As much as I've heard stories about what happened, I was not there. I am too young. And like I grew up on the surface. I've heard stories, but I'm not going to hold them against you.
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, like, you growing up on the surface is honestly doing you a big favor.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
I've heard things. I have no desire to have grown
Yeah.
up amongst
No.
We were
my
doing you a
people.
favor when we killed your family.
I mean, again, Elmarin wasn't alive at that time
I-
either, so she's just gonna learn. Yeah. I am sorry for the pain that it has caused you, and you know, while I do not necessarily know what having familial ties would be like in a healthy way,
Neither do I.
Does anyone?
I
Show of
I,
hands.
I can understand
we're
the
here.
desire to have wanted to know what the other side was, but also you probably would be a very terrible person if your house survived and
Undoubtedly. Regardless, I grew up an orphan. I was one of those pickpocketing children. So, you know, that wasn't the greatest thing. But
Orphan. You and I have that in common.
yeah, did you not know
So-
that? I thought we talked about that like a decade
I-
ago.
I was drunk. I don't remember.
So,
The
if
whole
I may,
time. Literally the whole time.
When I wasn't.
Ilmarin winces reflexively, apropos of nothing. Like it seems like she heard something or something, whatever.
Well, no, I wasn't drunk when we were, doing stuff, but I was drunk after, and it messes with your head, and
if I may,
yeah.
I think that there are 3 problems that have been discussed that can all have a simple solution. Ilmarin, you have stated that your friend often shows up when you're alone. Is that correct?
Well, that's how it was before, but obviously it was not that way on the battlefield.
You were
So-
But has
stressed
it
and you
been
were
that
injured.
way recently?
The thing that I fear is that she is growing stronger. As before, before
Ilmarn kind of winces again.
before she appeared to me as a child, and it was just bits and flashes, and when I finally wrested control back, I was fighting her as adult, and
Okay.
I had to fight to gain control, which is new.
Okay. Shay, you have said that Shar comes to you when you're alone.
Yes.
And as Ilmarand has discussed, it seems that your particular faith in Illustrae have vulnerability that is being exploited.
Yes.
Perhaps it would help the both of you if, to avoid time alone, Shay worked with Ilmarin to start at ground one with your faith in Illustrae. Something less pliable to Shar.
Ilmarin right now looks visibly sick.
Sorrow puts an arm
Lauren.
over her shoulders. You okay?
Are you okay?
She's saying not to talk to her. She will make herself.
How violently?
I don't know.
Well, I offered to talk to her earlier. Is she gonna come out and take over your body? Because I don't think that's a good idea.
Pause, stop, wait, no, halt. Can we at least wait until we have docked and gotten off the ship, made our way onto dry land to someplace we don't give a damn if it gets blown up?
I don't know.
That's
Like
what
the,
I have
Nothing
been
against
saying.
you.
like
I
the
don't want
ruins
you
of
blown
Zhentil
up
Keep.
either. I will
I
not
mean-
be happy to see you turned into that again
That's
and
why-
possibly destroyed, but can we keep my ship out of it?
Why do you think I asked you and insisted so strongly that I be tied up when I'm going to sleep?
And I did a damn good job of it.
You
Yeah.
did. I was actually really impressed with the rope work. That was top-notch stuff.
Of course it was.
It was
So-
top
Think I
notch,
am.
if you will.
So, Captain,
Yes.
do you have any deep dark secrets that are gonna destroy us all like the rest of us do?
Ilmarin says out loud, I don't believe.
I have to. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Oh,
I sorrow that
Bane's like, how much time you got?
Yeah.
Well-
We're not. I'm gonna.
So, sorrow.
yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get an answer to that question. If there's one thing that I know about Vane, the answer is probably yes. But, what about you? How are you doing? Like, what do you think the Lilton thing's going to become a problem? He's the last thing we need right now.
He disappeared, abandoned me, and I've learned now that he's out of my life. I figured out that he was really one procession really fucking bad for me. And
I was gonna. Okay, you're good. You're good. Go on.
and I've been working on not needing whatever it was that he was given. Oh, that reminds me, Amaran.
Like,
That-
once
that-
again, Ilmarin looks visibly sick.
Yeah, that other person, whatever she is, she presses the same buttons Lilton did.
Yeah, she gave off super Lilton vibes. I'm just saying.
And I think that I am strong enough to now to, because I don't want to be used and I don't want to be a plaything, and I think that that's what her interest in me is. And so as long as that is the case, I should be good to go.
I am so sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
The last thing I want for you, for any of you, is to be afraid of.
I'm not afraid of you. I love you. It's her I'm worried about.
Okay, I care about all of you, but I do want to point out you just met like 5 days ago.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
It's been longer than that.
Has it?
Also, there has been a lot that has happened.
There has been. People bond
That-
through strife, I
Drama.
guess. Yeah. Point taken. Just, wanting to remind, careful.
You know me, I don't do anything slowly.
I know.
So, Ilmarin, when you've been experiencing symptoms, has anything helped?
Let's see. The first time I fought against her, I tried using my spells. I tried to banish her because I thought it was creepy demon child, but the spell did not work, and instead I felt it pull at myself, which made me realize that using magic was probably a terrible idea. And then I woke up standing next to Vane in the
Control room.
yeah, in the control room, and I realized using magic against her in general was probably a terrible idea if I don't know where I am at the time. But I got out of that with just kind of refusing to acknowledge her, and
Alright.
and then the second time I threw sand into her face.
Is she communicating with you right now?
Yes.
Are you willing to let me try something to help?
Zara's gonna hold her hand, kind of squeeze it a little bit.
She
It
looks
shouldn't require you
very
to do anything.
uncomfortable. She looks very uncomfortable and very worried. And it's kind of like, I don't know if that would be a good idea. But if you think it is, I will be willing to try.
I think it will be, at worst, educational.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not giving you anything.
A simple protection spell. Do you want to try this? Please, you've helped me. I would like to return the favor.
All of us.
I would like you out of my head.
Maybe, like I said earlier, when we were just the two of us, maybe having someone else in your head help keep her at bay.
And not doing anything in your head.
If you think That will help. Do as you will.
All right. I'll be back in just a moment. And Callista will leave. She actually has to go to her equipment. And she's going to come back with a little bottle of water. And she's going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on Ilmarin, which consumes the holy water that she kept on hand.
Okay.
Starro recoils a little bit from the holy water.
Valid.
How does that work if you are good aligned? Does it feel weird?
Well, so the way that Protection from Evil and Good works is until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against creatures that are aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. Grants several benefits. Creatures of that type have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be possessed by or gain the charmed or frightened conditions from them. If they're already possessed, charmed, or frightened by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throws against the relevant effect. So it's protection against good, evil and good, but it's not alignment based. It's like things that are typically very good or very evil.
So is that gonna protect her from me?
No.
Oh.
I'm double-blooded.
You're a-
got an evil
you're a-
soul.
You're a tiefling, and no, you don't have an evil soul.
No,
That's
you
not
don't.
how it works.
I know from evil
Sorrow.
and you're not it.
Are you trying to
no,
possess her?
No, but
Are
And
you
you're not trying to
take
do her
away
any
will?
harm. He doesn't
People
need
always-
protection from you.
yeah, but people always told me I was automatically evil because I
People-
was
People
devil.
are assholes.
People
Sorrow.
always told me I was automatically evil because I was a dark elf. You're
Oh.
not. You are you, and no one is automatically anything.
You're actually one of the least evil people I've encountered in a while.
You should have known me a few years ago.
That's fair. But people are people, and you are who you are that I've known for, I mean, granted, 15 minutes, but you are
We-
one of the least evil people I've encountered in a bit.
And you were
We
being
choose who we are.
exactly.
Yeah, but
Like,
I was born in hell. I'm gonna go back there when I die.
Who says?
I mean, my soul might get eaten by a Loth. That's what supposedly happens
Sorrow.
to all Drow. But I'm not going to live my life under the assumption that I should serve Loth just because I might have my soul devoured by her anyway or face some crueler
Oh.
fate. I'm going to live my life the way I want to and the way I choose to.
I-
And you are free to do the same.
I have a couple of points. One, I don't think Lolth's going to eat your soul. Illustrate has her. There's a place that where Illustraians will go. Go to her realm when we die.
No, what?
Sorry?
Not you.
Oh, right.
If I may, for a moment, I think this is a good conversation to come back to, but first, Ilmarin, did that help?
I don't know. She's what do they know? What are you talking about?
Okay, what is the other person saying?
Sound like it helped.
Your mind feels a little more settled, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Like
know.
there was kind of this buzz and hum, you know, like when you're listening to a conversation and the voices get kind of drowned out in white noise. And that's what was going on, and it was getting more and more intense until the spell happened, and then it just kind of like smoothed out again.
What has she been saying?
Well, so to answer Callista first, it definitely does make my head feel clearer. And as to what she has been saying, you know, she wants to be let out. She says, she was very worried that Callista was going to kill her. and seemed upset when I allowed Callista to do the spell. And now she just keeps saying, telling me, do they know? And I don't know what that means.
I really
Well.
like that she thinks Callista can kill her.
I noticed that too. That is news.
That means
So-
that maybe Callista can.
There's 2 useful details that we have learned. 3, really. 1, Vane, do you have supply of holy water available?
That is one of the few things that Vane
Actually,
does not
looks
keep
like
on
I
the
don't.
ship.
I'm like literally over here going through my inventory, being like, it does not look like I do.
It's
I
funny,
don't.
like it might seem like I'm just making up what she has, but no, her inventory is very,
My
very.
inventory goes on for days, and I have
Yeah.
I have tabs of it that I have to go through. But no, it does not look like I have any holy water.
Because when you add a spelljammer to your character sheet, it is a container,
Wow.
and you can just fill it up with things. Yeah.
So, we'll need a supply because that is necessary for that spell to work. 2, I can only maintain that for a few minutes, maybe 10. So it's not a permanent solution, but in situations where you feel like you might be losing control, it could be a tipping point.
Should also cast it every time we go into battle.
And 3, there is a very limited pool of entities that spell can affect.
And we also
Creatures
know
of
she
the
can be a.
heavens,
Sorry.
creatures of the hells, or the abyss, creatures of the elemental planes, aberrations, fae, and undead.
Whatever this is, it's not her.
And we also know she can be afraid, be caused fear. She's afraid of Callista. That's a important thing to know. Ilmarin, is she talking to you again?
No, it's been quiet.
Okay, good.
Like it did
Unfortunately, that
something.
also means that I'm currently at the top of her hit list.
I'm the only one she
Something to keep in
likes.
mind.
I'm the only one she likes, which is also something to keep in mind.
Well, I feel like it is. She would probably be neutral of Vane as well, since Vane is mercenary.
Yeah, but if she comes for Callista, she's gonna get the business end of me.
I didn't realize your relationship had gotten that close. Good for you.
I hadn't either.
Shay's over here like, is it me?
And I take someone into my hospitality aboard this vessel. They're also under my protection.
Which is appreciated.
I mean, you can also just say that you really like her. Like, it's okay. Like, none of us are judging you. Look at her. She's very attractive.
I just
Good
like top
fiber.
off my glass of rum, top
Yeah.
off Callista's glass of rum, and
Yeah.
just like don't say anything else. I'm like not
Shay.
talking.
Shay has
We're
gotten
not
very
using
quiet.
words anymore. We
Yeah,
are not
Sh-
using our words.
Shay has gotten very quiet at this point.
Yeah, meanwhile, Marin just has no idea why, like, this is a big deal to say out loud.
So, since things will take time, and I imagine it won't be long before we get to our destination, I think that's all I had. I think before we do anything else, and if you could help me with,
Yeah,
well,
of course.
Hey, Captain, could you do me a favor?
Right. What is
Do
it?
you have any magic to lock your liquor cabinet so I can't get to it? Cause I'm having having some issues.
So yeah, Eric, let me know if this is mechanically possible. I feel like I could put unseen servants literally on guard in front of any unlocked liquor.
You can, although to be clear, Sarah can stop an unseen servant, no problem.
Question.
Sarah might have a harder time with the hold portal spell, though.
Okay.
Question.
Okay.
If I use, because I can use my lay on hands to cure poison, can that work for mitigating some withdrawal symptoms?
Sure can.
Oh.
So, Ilmarin would walk over to Sorrow and be like, are you feeling that right now?
So, out of character, just to guide my role playing a little bit, I rolled a wisdom save and got a natural 1. So yeah, Sorrow definitely has some shakes going on.
Okay.
And I will say the liquor cabinets would be mechanically locked because on a sailboat in particular, you're going to have every bottle in a keeper and the cabinet locks so the door can't come open because when you heal over, everything's going to shift if it's not locked down. So if this spell works to like take the actual chemical dependency away, it'll just be the like mental emotional temptation.
Yeah.
And having to deal with an actual padlock like might be enough to make you think 2 times.
You have actual padlocks.
Yeah, and like call your sponsor.
So Ilmarin will walk over to Sorrow and just very lightly like put a hand like here, and you feel assuming nothing's going wrong with my magic or my faith, you feel the warm, soothing light of Illustrae as I use Purify Poison.
Sarah will take her hand and put it over hers and just hold it there for a second. Be very happy.
Okay. Yeah, your shakes, withdrawal fades away.
Okay.
You feel just sober and calm again.
Thank you.
I can't do that very often, but I can do it at least one more time.
You're gonna try to cure that disease on Shay?
Yes. But we're just finishing this.
Sure. Okay.
So if there is something, if it is feeling hard, if it is interfering, please come find me.
Oh well, Shay needs you right now, and hey, Captain. You know what else would help? Put me to work.
Oh, do not have to ask me twice. Absolutely.
Okay. I forgot what disease we were using, or what was it? Just the cure poison, or was it
remove curse?
Okay,
remove
that's
curse.
it. Yeah, I see it. Okay. All right, let's go to a special room.
All right.
I mean, Vane does have a spellcasting chamber.
I do.
I don't know if you want to let people in there, but you can.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I'm telling them that though.
That's
all right.
I think.
What's up?
Can we take a break now?
We're basically almost done because we're out of time. So just
a
couple more minutes, and then we'll call it, and then Allie will stitch in a break at some point. If you need to go, feel free.
No, I would actually point them to like a place on the foredeck where like you could be in the sun or the shade, and like that it won't bother you.
Sure.
And then I will take Sorrow up on deck and just sort of start teaching you the basics of like sail trim. Like, here are your points of sail. Here's how you trim the sails depending on where the wind is. Because that's the getting on the winch and making things work. and real exciting to have someone with like much muscle to do winching up the halyards.
It's also much easier to focus when you're not, hungover or in withdrawals.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Shay and Ilmarin, you end up on the forecastle of the ship, and it is very sunny. Not a single cloud in the sky. The sun is beating down upon you. You're looking down over the sea. For a bunch of people, this would be beautiful. For you, drow and drow adjacent people, it is less so.
Can we go somewhere else? I can feel my flesh burning.
Okay, if I overhear that, we're gonna head to the front and we're gonna trim the foresail to put them in the shade.
Okay.
However, I want to
they'll
say,
actually have the shade of a sail.
I do want to say that the sun on Shay weakens the curse as
Okay.
much as it could.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I don't. Shade would be nice, but I think what I need right now is the searing light of the sun.
Like, this is something Ilmarin could observe. Like, I hate this, but this is the best way.
Okay. Then do you have like cloak with a hood?
Yes,
maybe-
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And I actually, I'm not even gonna go like all the way to my room and get one of my cloaks. I'm literally gonna be like Fowlies in the rain locker, just
Yep,
like right there, just like.
Yeah, or like a big hat.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I don't know if you ever watched Deadliest Catch, but like the rain slickers, like the big
Okay.
hood, the long sleeves,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
coveralls if you want it, like serious foul weather gear, which you're gonna roast in
Yeah.
the heat, but you will not have direct sun on you.
Well, Marin looks very silly in this.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So, remind me, was there any other special things that we did the last time?
It prompts Shay to make a new saving throw.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hopefully this time, now that there has been unburdening and you're in the sunlight,
So, good news is that you have advantage on the saving throw when you
Okay.
were in the sunlight.
Okay.
and that cursed
That's a
day
big deal.
star has to be good for something. All right. So I roll to cast it, right?
You don't have to roll.
Oh, okay, cool.
No,
It
I
just
Yeah. So.
Yep.
I only got a 10
With advantage?
with advantage. Yeah.
Do you have the
Did the chat give you inspiration
Yeah.
at this last session?
Did.
go
Uh,
chat?
Thanks,
you,
We
chat.
have
chat.
the best audience.
We really do.
Mhm.
Oh, that's much better. That's a 17.
Okay. That
Marin mutters, "If I must."
that is sufficient to fight off the disease.
Yay.
Combination of Ilmarin's magic and the sun just finally burns the last vestiges of this shadow curse out of you.
And she actually seems to relate. Like the sunlight's still not fun for her, but she like visibly relaxes. The way that like she kind of seems sometimes indistinct at the edges. She just kind of like solidifies.
She kind of wavers on her feet.
Yeah. Oh, thank the gods. And she'll just like hug Ilmarin, just like
Oh.
like throw her arms around Ilmarin in a big old hug.
Can we please go hugging
Yes,
Shade?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Shade is great. Sadly, that did nothing for the vampirism, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And she'll take Ilmarin back downstairs.
Question, sorry, does Sorrow over here, nothing for the vampirism part?
Probably, if Sorrow's
Yeah.
there, then yes.
Shay's not being quiet.
Well, what you need is a healthy source of blood.
But
Try mine sometime. I got plenty.
I appreciate the offer. I don't tend to need it all that much. I do have.
But when you
I do have some emergency flasks still, so I should be okay if the craving hits. But I appreciate that.
I bet Zaro probably has very good blood because it is probably like spicy hot chocolate.
It wouldn't be any worse than eating fire snails.
Ugh.
Okay. This is moment of relief. And then you see on the horizon a damaged, dark castle, fortress that is just lurking there on the cliffside at the edge of the Sea of Fallen Stars. And you remember where you're headed next. And that is all the time we have for the game tonight. Thank you all. I have been Eric Scott to be the DM of this campaign. Also, the voice inside Jen Prezes' head, conveying to her various secrets from Naramli. I am a writer, game designer, and Twitch streamer. I want to give a shout out to the Dungeon Scholars Discord. We have a good time there. We talk about this campaign and others. We talk about current events. We talk about other games. We talk video games, tabletop games, all kinds of stuff. We have a great supply of memes as well. It's a good time. Come join us. You can find a link down below or !Discord. Yeah, hoping to see you there. Allie, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexandra Pitchford, or Ali for short. I am an author, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. As you saw, I play Shay, who is now at least no longer fearing for her immediate life, but still has to contend with the demons of her own past and Shar rattling around in her skull somewhere. So, yeah, she's got shit cut out for her right now. But at least she's found the power of friendship. But yeah, check out, like you said, check out our Discord. The first 4 chapters of Westgate Irregulars Tower of Shadows are up in our Dark Dance Library channel, with chapter 5 coming soon. That one's gonna have some fun at the Quivering Thumb Arena, so please do check it out. And that's it for me tonight. Cora.
Hello, everyone. As was just said, my name is Cora. I am a writer. I am a game designer. I played Callista, who is our wonderful Face Guard Ranger, who has found herself changed and also very, very pleasantly surprised by Vane. She had fully expected that the answer was going to be just fun, and it wasn't. So that's fun. And I'm excited to see how that goes. So moving from me to Kay.
I am Kyrea Draken. You can call me Kay. I played Sorrow, who hasn't put all the cards on the table yet, because what she didn't say is how tempted she is by Naramli. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got. Jen?
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories. Patreon.com/SavageSparrow if you want to check out my artwork, like all of the art on all of the thumbnails and character stuff I've been doing for this game. It's really cool. Tonight I played Omarin, and I had a delightful time giving everyone insight into why drow are terrible. But also just wacky little guys. So that was delightful. Yeah, looking forward to that. Manda.
I'm Amanda Cherry. I tell lies for a living, and tonight I played Vane, who is a little less mean than she has been in any of the previous times Shay has encountered her, but still mostly interested in the well-being of the schooner she loves more than anything else in the whole wide world. Mess with her ship, and bad things are going to happen to you. You can find me online at Amanda the Ginger on the X Twitter, Blue Sky, and TikTok. And thegingervillain.com is my website that I basically update never. But you can find out about stuff I've written, where I'm going, what conventions I'm doing, panel schedules and stuff when those come out. So yeah. And I don't always lie on panels. I tell the truth at conventions. I just tell lies to get invited to conventions.
She's lying to you right
No,
now.
I do.
But,
Like,
you know, that's
like,
fine.
I made all of this up, and like I made all of this up, and like
We
I
are
made all of
authors.
this
Those are
up,
We are
stories.
authors. That
and
makes
I
us
made half
professional
of this
liars. It's
up,
true.
and I made half of this up. Like I do. I make things up.
And
It's
it works.
It works.
All right.
We made all of this up.
Right? Like, we're all just telling lies out here. Come on, people.
I
We're
don't
telling
know.
stories.
Except for Naramli. She's real.
Yeah,
Lying for fun.
Exactly.
Listen,
I wish
iPad.
I was
Yeah.
getting a lot of messages in my DMs. Like that was
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah. There were a
Listen.
few messages. But we'll learn more about that in subsequent episodes.
Listen, I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying sometimes an attractive man blows up your DMs and you're like, huh? And then sometimes it's not okay.
All right. Are we good? We got everybody?
I think we're
Yeah.
good.
All
I
right.
think we're good.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time. Don't go away. There is a darkness a brewing, as there often is.